Have you ever bought a game on Steam and then when you went to go click play, it opens up this separate launcher? EA, Ubisoft, Rockstar, these are just some of the companies that suffer from this external launcher craziness, where when you go to buy your game and play it, no, you need to download the game in their launcher and log in with their account and accept their licensing agreements. As a quick example, I recently bought the game A Way Out on Steam because it was on sale, and as soon as I went to go play the game and invite my friend to play, I was quickly greeted with an EA login screen. So I had to log in with an EA account that I haven't logged into for over 10 years, and then when I couldn't remember the password, I had to go reset the password for this separate EA account, log in again, and then when I finally got in, when I went to go invite my friend, I had to do it through the EA overlay instead of Steam. Inviting them through Steam just didn't work. I had to go like Shift F2, and then they had to be logged into EA, and then once they were logged in, oh god. So suffice to say, game launchers suck. And in this video, I'm going to go over the rise of gaming launchers in recent years, why these companies are using these launchers, and the pros and cons to why maybe launchers might be good and why they might be bad. Guess what? Spoiler alert, they're mostly just bad. So game launchers consist of any piece of software that houses a library of games that you can download and play from. Now, we all like to have all our games in one place. It's just one app that we open, everything we could possibly need to play is there. Steam, basically. So you're probably wondering, how did we end up with all these different game launchers? Companies like Epic Games, Ubisoft, EA with the Origin launcher, now called the EA Play app. There's so many different platforms nowadays, and it becomes a real hassle. A lot of these launchers consume a lot of resources in the background, and they just don't run well overall. And you can run into a lot of issues and bugs that just make the overall experience awful to deal with and not user-friendly at all, which is hilarious because a lot of these companies are focusing on getting more consumers to buy their video games on their launcher, but when half of these launchers are just awful to use, it makes you never want to buy another one of their games on PC. And don't even get me started with some of the other issues that comes with these launchers, like forced updates and installations. You want to play your game on Steam? Perfect. You just click play and the game opens. You actually have to update the EA Play launcher before you can play this game, then re-log in again because it forgot your login. And a lot of these launchers have a forced online requirement for you to even play your games. To check that you own your games, which is hilarious, every time you launch one of them, the launcher needs to do a check online to make sure that it can verify that you actually bought it. And this brings questions into ownership, like, do we actually own the games we buy nowadays? Spoiler alert, we don't own anything nowadays. Now, a lot of these launchers too will have games that are exclusive to just this launcher. For example, Alan Wake 2, when that game first came out, it's still to this day, as of making this video, an exclusive to the Epic Games launcher. That game has not come to Steam. If you want to play that game, you have to download the Epic Games launcher, buy the game on that launcher, and then download it and play it from that launcher alone. Same with multiplayer games like Fortnite and Fall Guys. These games are now locked to the Epic Games launcher, and it really fragments the potential player base that they could have had if they just put Fortnite on Steam, for example. These launchers kill the social aspect of gaming. Steam has such a huge user base because Steam is awesome. If you need to step off of that user base to go to the Epic Games launcher, for example, it feels so closed off. There's not as many people there. There's no community hub or discussion. There's nothing there. It's just your library, the store, and your downloaded games. And that's about it. And having different friends list and different launchers sucks too. Like as I mentioned earlier with the Way Out situation with my friend, just having to re-add them in a separate launcher is crazy. I'm already friends with them on Steam, which is where I bought the game in the first place. It adds so many unnecessary steps. Now that's the consumer side of game launchers. We also kind of have to talk about the developer side. Why do they make these launchers in the first place? Well, there's a few reasons. Developers want a way that's easier for them to distribute their games and also to employ DRM protection. That's kind of the initial reason to why these launchers exist. Through Steam or other platforms, they might not have as much say with pushing out updates and DRM. I mean, besides Denuvo existing, which I'll have a separate video on why Denuvo's trash, there's not a lot of DRM protection that they can do unless they have a separate launcher employed, like I mentioned. Now, I will say that there is one standout launcher that has proved, even though embarrassingly, that it can somehow compete. And you might flame me for this, but give me a minute, let me explain myself. Epic's launcher gives you free games. Control, for example, was free for a while. They just gave it to you. And during December and like Christmas time and the holidays, every like week or every other day, they're just giving out free games. My Epic library right now literally consists of like 40 free AAA games that I got from them. I own the entire Batman Arkham collection in my Epic library. Have I played them? No. But are they there? Yeah. And they're there forever. And now why they're doing this is because they need to be competitive like this with Steam being such a big user base like it is. And Epic's got a lot of money, Unreal Engine and Fortnite. Now the future of game launchers. Are we gonna see a one launcher to rule them all situation? Already we've seen a lot of game launchers shift games that were once exclusive to those launchers right onto Steam. Epic's launcher, for example, like the Final Fantasy VII remakes, and it kind of goes to show that as much as these companies want to pretend like they can just put out a launcher and secure their side of the market, Steam is a behemoth. Steam has a massive user base already from their years of experience in the industry. They offer so many other community-based options, mods on the workshop, the reviews being open. Pretty much any indie dev can easily put their game on Steam. And yeah, Epic's trying to advertise this, we take only 10% cut from developers, it's so much less. But let's be honest, they're only doing that for now. If Epic one day blew up and everyone decided to use the Epic launcher, they're gonna scale that back. They're only being competitive now to win over all the developers that are using Steam. So only time will tell. Will eventually all these launchers just fade away into obscurity and all games just get published to Steam? Maybe for Ubisoft and EA, but I can't see this happening with Epic anytime soon because they just have such a stronghold in the market. Unreal Engine, which owned by them if I didn't clarify already, is one of the #1 launchers that new AAA games are using nowadays, which sucks because a lot of performance in recent Unreal Engine game releases is awful. What can you do to stop this launcher infection that is happening? Speak up about it, and maybe just don't purchase games on other launchers, or don't purchase games that you know use third-party launchers. Again, this all comes down to the same saying as vote with your wallet. So if you truly want something to exist, prove it to them by buying it. But if you don't want it to exist, don't buy it. And I know that's hard for a lot of people to do because sometimes excitement gives in and we just have to buy something, right? I've done it too, but this is the only way things are gonna change. You can voice your opinion all you want online. At the end of the day, money talks, not mouths. Anyway, game launchers are trash for the most part, and there's only a few that are really good, mainly pretty much just one, it's just Steam. The fragmentation of having all these different platforms is bad for gamers and the community as a whole. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Are game launchers hurting the overall gaming space as a whole? What do you think they should do to fix this issue of having all these launchers? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.